Oh yeah, what's up, Eagle fans? OGP here, and you know the deal. It's time to get real. You see the ticker, you see the thumbnail title, so you know it's time to go. It's time to go with one more video. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. If you would be so kind, we would appreciate if you would do that real quick. That would be very much appreciated. Let's get a little more light on the situation here. Bring a little bit more light in. All right. So I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today. More light. We're going to talk about Phil Simms. Phil Simms, top NFL quarterback, top 40. And it's in my opinion, and I've been listening to so many different folks talk about it, and I've also listened to Phil Simms talk about the 40 top quarterbacks, and he admitted that last year he omitted Jalen Hurts, and I think that the way that Phil Simms goes about choosing and selecting these quarterbacks, I think it leaves a lot to be desired. I think he has his own notion on how, and I guess everyone does, on how to go about picking quarterbacks. I think because he was a quarterback, I think probably, and he was probably a pocket passer. I believe he was. Didn't have the notion to do nor have the other skills as far as being able to run or run RPOs or anything of that nature. He just was a pocket passer like his father was, and I think for the most part he looks at quarterbacks for whether they have the ability to be a pocket passer and to be able to be effective from the pocket. Now I think that has its validity. There is some validity in pocket passing, but the game has changed and is changing, and it continues to change because of the different types of quarterbacks that are coming in the league. Phil Simms seems to think that being able to be a pocket passer or to have a future to be a pocket passer is the means by which he says that would rank a quarterback. Well, he ranked Jalen Hurts 25 out of 40, which is, in my opinion, is rather low, considering the people that was placed in front of Jalen. So I really think he again uses a criteria that's a little antiquated and a little outdated because the quarterbacking position has evolved and continues to evolve, even though some folks will have the contention that the top pocket passers are quarterbacks who have been able to who are able to be pocket passers. Well, if you also look at that, most of the top quarterbacks are older quarterbacks as well, so they're not quite capable of running anyway. So yes, they're going to be those kinds of quarterbacks. But if you would look at the type of quarterbacks that are coming into the game in the last 5-6 years, you'll see that more and more have the ability to be able to run as well as to pass and be pocket passers because the pocket breaks down. Okay, the bottom line is we're looking at a league now that the game is around passing, but at the same token, the defensive game is about stopping the pass. So it becomes of a necessity for offenses to be able to also be able to have quarterbacks that can get out of trouble when they have to. Not saying that we want quarterbacks that are just running quarterbacks, but they need to be able to do both. And we're seeing more and more quarterbacks coming out of college that can do both. And I think that those will, in the next several years, be the type of quarterbacks that you'll find at the top of the rankings of quarterbacking in the NFL. I believe Jalen Hurts is one of those type passers, and they continually harp on his inability to do certain things from the pocket. Okay, and so I think Phil Simms used that criteria to discount the fact that Jalen Hurts brings so much more than just pocket passing. I mean, when we look at he helped lead the #1 rushing team in the NFL, and he was one of the top rushers in the NFL, and the only quarterback that was one of the top rushers in the quarterback that as a quarterback leading his team in rushing. He led us in rushing with just about 15, 20 yards beyond Sanders. So we have a quarterback who not only can throw the ball, but he can run the ball. He ran for 10 additional touchdowns, which they seem to discount for some reason. He's still so okay. He threw for 16, but he had another 10 as for his from his legs, and he had the #1 rushing team offense in the NFL in the league. So to say that he's a quarterback that is in the lower tier, I think is insulting. Looking at what Phil Simms has put out, he says that looking at the 40 top, if you look down, number 25 is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts down, I don't have a problem with those people that are behind him. I would say this though. I would say that Jameis Winston should be higher than that, than 25. I really do think he should be. I believe that Teddy Bridgewater should be higher than what he is. There are some. I have some real issues with some of. I think Sam Darnold is higher than he should be. Than 32. I think he's lower, closer to the 40. He's closer to 40 than he is to 32. That's for sure. But the bottom line is, Jalen Hurts is at 25, and the quarterbacks that are above him, I have a serious problem with all of the quarterbacks that are above him. I believe that Jalen is better than all of these quarterbacks that are placed beyond him, above him. If for nothing else, he's the only one out of these quarterbacks that led his team to the playoffs. And as far as those above him, I think that speaks volumes for Jalen, because Jalen is not only a first year starter, but he not only a first year starter, but he's a first year starter that took his team to the playoffs, and yet he's behind 4 other quarterbacks that did not do that. I don't understand how that is. I guess again, Phil Simms is going by their arms and strictly by their arms, and not by the totality of what it takes to be an effective quarterback, and that the new quarterback that is becoming of age in these new days in the NFL. And I believe that Jalen Hurts is one of those such types. So we have to look at the type of people who are putting out these lists and these polls and all these things, and taking consideration their mentality and how they think, and how that affects the way that they see the game and how they go about making their lists. So for me, I hold this particular list by Phil Simms as a joke. It's a joke because it's just not right. It's not accurate. And I'm sure there are going to be people that are higher in the list that I would challenge that Jalen is probably equal to or surpassing in skills as well. They think that they seem to be bent on the notion that Jalen cannot throw the deep. Well, he can throw the deep ball, but he can't throw within the hash. He can't. He's not very accurate in pinpointing with his passes. I believe we're going to see a different Jalen this year, and he will show these pundits, prognosticators, that he is able to do whatever is necessary for his team to win. Because as you look at Jalen Hurts throughout his career, he is always improved. And I would dare say that he's going to make extremely profound progression this year, because this is the first time in 5-6 years that he's had the same offense coordinator and the same head coach 2 years in a row. So I think this young man is ready to show the NFL and these people who think that less of him that he's definitely better than the jokers that's been placed before him. It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. It is what it is. These folks are going to say what they're going to say. But what I'm glad about is, one thing about Eagles fans, we don't drink Kool-Aid. We don't drink other people's Kool-Aid. And what we do is we do our homework, and we have our own opinions, and you're not going to sway us, because we know better than these folks who just follow. They don't even look at and diagnose our players. They just go with whatever the national opinion is about our team, and they just go ahead and they continue to reproduce those false narratives about our team without ever doing their homework about our team. I tell you what, after this season, they're gonna see some things about the Philadelphia Eagles that they have not banked on. We are a team that's fastly on the rise. I again say that we're going to win 13 games. I sincerely believe that. I believe we will win the NFC East. I do believe that we will be the number one seed in the NFC. I believe that because of the pieces that we've added. I believe that there's some key players with some real issues on the line relative to their contracts. They need to perform, and they know it. And I believe that this is what's going to cause some of these young men to do better than they've done in the past. I believe these players are going to come out to play. I believe this defense has taken another step toward being a premier defense in the NFL. I believe our offense, and I said this before, I believe last year we were ranked like between 8 and 10 defensively. I believe that we're going to be at least 5 within the top 5 defenses this year, and I believe that our offense will be in the top 10. So I believe that we're going to make strides to make some serious improvements this year, and I'm so excited and looking so much forward to us being able to do that, because what these folks are saying about us, they just don't know us. They have no idea of the heart that it takes to, and when you come to Philly, you've got to have heart, man. You've got to have heart. I don't care what all the other things that these prognosticators are saying. The bottom line is we have dogs. We have dogs that come to play, and they come to hunt, and they hunt and they eat. So I'm believing that that's exactly what we're going to do this year, and we're going to surprise a lot of people. They're trying to make it seem like that we don't have what it takes to be a top tier team. We're going to show you. We can show you better than we can tell you. We're going to come out and we're going to kick some tail, right? We're going to kick some tail, and we're going to let you see how serious this team is from Philly. All right, so that's all I want to share with you today. It's OGP, and I'm listening. I'm talking about Fly Eagles Fly, because we are the team to beat in the East this year. Until the next time, this is OGP, and